Rebecca Black, the one and only.
Yes, Shredder!
Shredder's feeling it.
I'm so excited to be here.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Today's episode is sponsored by Kudos. Thank you to them. So Rebecca Black is here. I think everybody knows who you are, which is kind of interesting. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. Definitely doing better than previous times.
Previous,
in life.
okay, that's good.
Catching me at a good time.
Yeah, nice. I'm glad to hear it. So, first of all, right at the top, I want to say that your first album, debut full-length album, Let Her Burn, is coming out on the 9th of February. That's fun. Awesome.
I'm excited. I know a lot of people are giving me a little bit of Can you?
Yeah, you can say.
Yeah, it's okay.
A lot of people
you
are
just
giving.
can't say "see you next Tuesday."
Really?
YouTube, for whatever reason, they put the kibosh on that word. Apparently,
That sounds like
they say it's like a hate word against women.
No, it's like at this point I feel like it's become like less of a slur than
That's how
at
I
least in
think,
like gay
too.
culture and well, good to know.
Yeah.
Anyway,
But anything else is good.
yeah, I've gotten a lot of shit for the fact that like it's been 12 years and it's a debut album, but it took me some time.
Well, but you're not coming from nothing. I mean, you've been putting out EPs and singles and stuff, so you've been active. There it is. So Rebecca Black is out there. You're 25 now.
I'm 25.
And you were 13 when Friday originally came out. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I kind of want to start from kind of the beginning, go back a little bit. I want to learn about you and your family and stuff like that.
Sure.
So, where are you from?
I'm from Orange County. I'm from Anaheim.
Oh, you're from here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I mean, I'm definitely not from LA, but like I'm from Southern California.
SoCal. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you mentioned to me that both of your parents are veterinarians?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yes. Yeah. They met at a vet conference. Now my mom is my dad's boss. My brother works with them. Like
Your brother works with them?
Yes.
Is he a vet too? Or like a tech?
Well, he's 23.
Mm-hmm.
So, he's like just learning and kind of
I
assisting
see.
and all of that. But yeah, no, I'm definitely like the only one out here doing something not in that world.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay. And how did this interest in music come about? Because obviously you were pretty young when Friday came out. Was that something that you had always wanted to do, or was it something you just did on a whim for fun? Like, how did that come about?
I mean, I grew up as a kid who was always performing. Like, I was a dancer when I was 3, from the time I was like probably 13, and I was always in like theater camps and performance groups. I was in some like really cringe, like patriotic performing groups at one point, just as like a kid.
Tell me about that.
It was really cute.
Wait,
it was,
what is a
it was
patriotic?
cute.
Yeah.
I mean, we would basically the group was called Celebration USA. I don't know if I've ever mentioned this, but like it was just like I was 11, and that was actually when I first started singing, was through that group. And you would just go and perform at like retirement homes, like veteran bases, those kinds of things. We sang like the national anthem at the Angel Stadium once. And yeah, we would just sing like hats off, here comes the flag.
What were you guys wearing?
Like glitter American flag,
Wow.
bright red lipstick, the pantyhose. It was a vibe.
Okay.
It was a vibe.
So you were always interested in singing. So how did this idea for Friday come together?
Well, I was in a musical theater program at my school in middle school, and I had a friend who, like over the summer, just like one day, like she like had a music video, and like all my friends were in it, and they filmed it at the school, and I was like, that's crazy. Like, how did you do that? And I like asked her about it one day, and she just mentioned that she'd worked with this company, and that like it was like kind of like a little thing she got to do.
Okay, so the company that produced your video, I remember because they've made a lot of other shit that I've talked about. I have a very intimate knowledge of Arc Factory Music and Patrice Wilson. And so you heard that your friend had worked with him, and she's like, "Oh, you should go work with these people."
Yeah, she was just like, "Oh yeah, it's this thing called ARC," and I was like, "Oh, I'll go look that up." Like that sounds cool because I don't know. I was very passionate about like music, performing. Really, performing was like my big thing. Like I was always like probably like the most annoying kid in musical theater about like taking it seriously. And I thought like at that point, like I mean I was 13, so like I wasn't even in high school yet, but I was like maybe I'll go to Juilliard or like maybe I'll go to NYU and like end up in New York on Broadway or something. And so I checked it out, and like my mom has always been really supportive of me and my brother. I mean, she's Hispanic, she's from Mexico, and like her style of parenting has always just been like whatever you want to do, if you have like a love, like let's do it.
I love that.
Even when she didn't really have the means to do it, she would pull some crazy shit, and like I don't know, she would help my brother get into like club soccer or like something, whatever she thought we liked. And so I just had told her about it as I was looking it up, and she was like, "Oh, well, we should like let's check it out. Like maybe it's a cool experience that you can put on your resume." And like, you know, having been in a recording studio, and so I think she literally like emailed the company.
Sorry, that's my bad.
I think she like emailed the company and then
set it up.
Yeah.
I've always wondered if it's like when I see a kid do something like this, I always wonder, is it like the parent pushing?
Totally.
But it sounds like
yeah, no.
In your case, it totally came from you.
Yeah. I mean, my mom was always really supportive. And both my parents, I mean, I think they just like wanted me to find a passion.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I
have
mean,
direction.
I love
like,
that.
my parents have always been lucky to be like, I've always wanted to be a vet. And so as soon as they saw that I had something that I maybe wanted to do, they were like, well, okay.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, if anything, especially after the fact with Friday, they were like, you really want to keep doing this? Are you insane? Let's convince you not to, because look at how poorly this went out the first time. But yeah, no, I mean, I have been very lucky that like my parents have been the one thing that have never taken advantage.
That's really good.
I think it was obvious that there was a supportive parent behind that video. Because, like, I mean, it looked at least kind of expensive to put together, but I don't know what
very gracious.
No,
I wonder
it's
too.
not that bad. Like the video itself is well produced.
I was wondering that too.
It's pretty good, like the audio quality. Like say what you will about Patrice, but the guy knows how to throw a video together.
I mean, you know, the way they work is they hire a production company and they kind of do the video. And I mean, we literally shot it like at my dad's house at the time. All my friends were in it.
Oh, okay.
You know, it was like the wind in one of the moments where I'm like in the car is literally a leaf blower, and like
that's awesome.
Some green screens of like cardboard. I mean, the reason we weren't in a school bus was because they couldn't afford it. They were like, let's rent.
Do you remember how much it cost? I've always been curious. Like a few thousand?
I mean, I think that I know that there was like an agreement of like, well, here you can pay $4,000 and like that's all you got to do, and this will cover owning the song or whatever. But and so I know that was a thing, but I don't even know what the video. I have to imagine it cost more than that, but I was like so uninvolved in those conversations.
And so the process, how long did it take to shoot the video?
Like 12 hours.
Oh wow! So you had that's a long shoot day.
Yeah,
full day.
Yeah. My first big shoot. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it was fun. Like, it was literally just me and my friends and, you know, like hanging out at home. I got to get my makeup done. Like, it was just a cool experience, literally.
So it seems like your intention going into that was just to have fun and make a cool video. Like your friend whose video you saw, did she post it online or anything like that?
Yeah, it did end up online.
Yeah.
Well, I think that I guess I didn't even realize like whether it was ARC or if it was, you know, her that put it online.
Was there even an idea of like, oh, people are going to want to watch this if I put it online?
There was a moment when we were like, we first met with them that Patrice was like, or one of them, I honestly don't remember, was like, if you put this up and like it gets 100,000 views, like maybe you can make some money. Like that's really cool.
Stacks, yeah.
And I was literally like, okay.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I watched like Ryan Higa and like Shane Dawson at the time and Fred and like all those like classic, people. And I was like, there's literally no fucking way that we're ever going to get 100,000 views on this little video. And like, it's not like their videos were known for being popular either at the time.
Right.
So
their videos didn't get, Arc Music Factory didn't get any views on their stuff.
I don't think so. Nothing crazy.
You were the big blowout for them.
It was definitely the first like big moment that they had. So for me, it was like, there was, okay, maybe we'll send this to a label or to an agency or like whatever the music industry garble was that they used. But like, for me, it was mainly like, I get to see what it's like to be in a recording studio. And I know that's like a crazy experience that a parent could give you as a child, but like,
no, it is.
My mom wanted to do that for me for whatever reason, to support me, and her being as like clueless as I was as to how anything worked, that was just what.
It seems like there's probably a lot of you and your family have probably been on the, I know a receiving end of a lot of crap. One of them, I have to guess, is like this claim of you being like a Nepo baby, or that your parents are rich or something like that, right?
That's epic.
Right?
I wish I was a Nepo baby.
But there's got to be a lot of people who are like, oh, you're so rich, you just paid to make this shitty video, and like...
I mean, people will like... I almost feel like I can't comment on, like whether or not my parents were rich or not, because what I felt at the time and like what some people would consider, wealthy or anything like that, like I feel like I'm not here to speak on like, well, I deserved to have this more or less because of whatever that was. I mean, I can tell you my mom was a single mom who worked 3 jobs and wanted to do something for her kid that was nice. And she often overstretched herself. I mean, I love my dad, but like he didn't understand what I was doing. So he was never a piece of that. And there have been a lot of like crazy rumors about it being like a birthday present for a bat mitzvah of mine, but like I'm not even Jewish.
That's awesome.
And all these other rumors of what it was or anything, but like, it was a super fortunate opportunity that I got to have. And my parents did the best they can, but I also I'm out here doing this on my own. Yeah.
So the lyrics to the original one, was that an Arc Factory original, or did you guys work on that together?
No, I did not change a single thing.
So they bring you the music, they bring you the lyrics, and you guys probably rehearse it. So what was your first reaction? Like, this is kind of a banger, or like, I mean.
They sent me another song before that was called Superwoman or something like that. I've always tried to find it, but I can't find it anywhere. But it was like some like little love song about like being a superwoman for a boy or whatever. And I was just like, 13. I can't do this. I just broke up with my boyfriend because I couldn't talk to him at school.
Right.
I am in no position to be no superwoman. And so I said like, do you guys have anything else? Sorry. But then they sent me, it was called It's Friday at the time. And I was just like, cute. Okay, whatever. Also, like, who am I going to be to ask for another song the third time?
Like a diva, maybe.
Yeah, I was just like, nobody's going to see this. Like, let's run it, It's more true than like me being a superwoman.
Right. It's Friday.
So,
I mean, that's incontroversial.
And it did be Friday. Yeah.
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 And so they bring you this song. You agree. You're like, okay, it's Friday. It's kind of a vibe. And you guys shot it with all your friends at your dad's house. And so when I have to imagine that they went back, they edited it, they put it together, and then they sent you a final version.
No, absolutely not.
That's not what happened?
It went up. Yeah.
It just went up online before you ever even saw it?
Oh, yeah.
What?
Well, I know.
What?
Oh my God.
So we shot it, actually, funnily enough, we shot it January 6th of 2011. Yeah.
January 6th.
January 6th.
It was a
premonition
day.
Yeah.
It was, you stormed Friday that day, my friend.
we shot it in January, and at the time that we shot the video, or before we shot the video, there was no rap verse on it at all. It was just me.
What?
And then that day, Patrice came and obviously was going to be like on set because it's his company, and he was like, "Hey, I put a verse in it," and I was like, "All right." No way. And he shot it in my dad's like Ford Escape in our garage. It was
He shot it at your house?
Yes.
And then
my
he
dad's
snuck
car.
it in?
Well, no, I mean, we knew at that. He was just
knew.
like, "There's a verse in the song."
I got some fire on about this bit.
Wow.
and then yeah,
shit.
that is what it was.
That
But
scene is so
Oh my
iconic
God.
because it's just like
it is iconic.
so out of fucking place. It's like, who is this guy? Why is he rapping? Why is he like talking about the school bus?
And it's like an adult in a kid's world.
Dude.
Like, it's just
It's a vibe. It's a vibe.
It definitely
It's a vibe.
added to the just total bizarreness of
Right.
everything.
It did add to the bizarreness.
Yeah.
And so we shot in like early January, and then I didn't hear anything from them, or my family didn't, for like weeks. And like I actually kind of forgot that it happened.
Right.
And like every now and again, like some of the kids at school would be like, "Hey, like, did that video ever like get finished? Like, we love to see it." And then literally one day I got a notification from their website that it had gone out.
wow.
Check out
This is
Rebecca
so
Black's new
wild.
single Friday. And I watched it
I
in
can't
bed.
believe that.
I know. I watched it in bed by myself, and I was like semi-mortified. Mainly because I had like this massive pimple on my cheek that like, I think there were rumors it was a wart. No, it was a pimple. And I was just like, okay. And then I watched it with my dad. I showed my dad, and we were like, okay,
That's a video.
that's a video.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just can't believe, like, as somebody that's been through working on videos and then posting it,
I know.
I can't believe that, like, decision being taken away from
Yes.
you. And especially when you're not a professional in such a vulnerable moment.
Yeah.
I'm shocked.
I mean, I know
Like,
it is crazy looking back
that's like-
now, but I had no idea how any of that worked. So I was just like, oh, that's what
You
happened.
probably didn't even think about it going
Right,
on
you
YouTube.
don't.
No, not really.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, like I knew they had a website, but even when it went on YouTube, like I wasn't like, I've been exposed. Like I was up there with like however many thousands of videos were getting uploaded every second.
Yeah, it'd
So
go under the radar.
I was like, all right.
So you got it. You watched it. What did you think of the song and the video and everything at first? I mean, as a 13-year-old.
I think I was probably more concerned about like myself than anything.
Yeah.
Like I was so hyper focused on this is what I look like on camera, and like
Right, all the
Oh,
stuff that you
yeah.
discover.
you know, like
yeah.
yeah, like just picking my own self apart and like I look a little awkward there, and like all of those things, rather than, because this was never meant to be like, this is my pop star debut.
Yeah.
Like I was literally just on my own vibe. Like I didn't really consider it to be something that was going to be seen by a lot of people. So
Yeah.
yeah, I think that was mostly what I was concerned about. And like again, like my biggest priorities were like Justin Bieber, you know, like my friends. I was like, I hope my friends think this is cool,
Right.
or like not
Did they?
weird. Yeah, I mean, everyone was like cute.
It's fun.
Yeah.
It wasn't that serious.
Fun. No,
Yeah.
and like
I
we
think
were
for a kid, it's pretty impressive.
maybe, yeah. And like,
Yeah.
I mean, there were a couple kids who would like sing it at school, but it wasn't like really a thing, you know, until a few months later when it went viral. And then, you know, that was different.
So, here's the pimple. Is that okay if I pull it up?
Please.
We have the receipts.
We've come to peace with the pimple.
So yeah,
There she
I didn't
is.
even notice it. If that makes you
My
feel...
literal
never
first
noticed
ever pimple.
Really?
Wow.
That
And
was
it's been
why it was so-
immortalized for hundreds of millions.
History.
Yes.
right
History. She made history. Yeah. And like, yeah, I mean, bad vibes.
I can
Bad
see that
vibes,
being
that
I
look.
can see that being horrifying.
Yeah.
So you see the video. How long before other people start watching it?
It was a couple months.
A couple months.
Yeah,
Okay.
I would like check in on it every couple weeks.
Was it going up at all or not really?
I think I checked it. I only remember these numbers because I've talked about them so many times, but like I checked it a few days or a few weeks before like it really popped, and it had like 3,000 views. You know,
That's actually
not crazy.
It's kind of a lot.
no, but that's
for,
kind of a
yeah.
lot for what for
Yeah.
the time and
a private video, basically.
Yeah. I mean, it was like that was pretty similar, I think, to what other shit had on.
And what
on
were
stuff
the
at time.
were you reading the comments at that time when it had like 3,000 views?
Probably, yeah.
Were they like supportive or confused or what was the vibe?
I think it was a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
It was like, okay, cute, and also like, who the fuck is this ugly bitch? And you know, all the really appropriate things to say to a 13-year-old. But
Right.
So after a couple months, it's slowly getting views. Do you know, was there a catalyst that set this thing off?
Yeah.
Tosh.0.
Oh.
How the hell did they find it?
I don't even think he found it. I think he had like what would you even call that? Like somewhere where like his audience, I think, could submit videos on like the site.
Shit. Okay.
And so somebody found it and was
Like
just
submissions.
like, LOL at the songwriting.
So
or
what was his
something.
coverage like? I didn't know that.
Yeah. I actually did something with Tosh.
Oh, that's cool.
Like it was like the 10-year anniversary or something like that. Or maybe it was 9 years, actually. It was 9.
I wish I could watch this clip of him talking about it, but I'm sure it was
I don't know if he ever even talked about it. It was just like on the website.
Really?
And then it like
Ooh.
blew up. Oh, no. Yeah. Well, no, that's old. That's definitely old. So maybe he did talk about it. I've actually never seen this.
Really? Wait, can you guys see if this gets claimed?
Think so.
Yeah,
Unless this is
Sorry. This isn't Ethan. I'll keep checking.
this is the new one when I went on.
Oh yeah, this is
and
2 years ago.
I
You're
like
right.
did a whole reclamation. Yeah, we did like some
I see.
spoof NPR Tiny Desk.
Can you guys find
Stupid joke. Yeah.
Can you guys find the original one if
Everything.
possible?
Yeah.
Okay, this is cool. This is cool. How was
was
that
fun.
experience?
Yeah.
I was really scared. Yeah. But he was really cool. Pretty cool. And like, I mean, I think that what I've found after this experience, especially as I continue to grow up, is a lot of people really didn't understand how young I was at the time. Maybe he did, I don't remember, but I think meeting me now, like a lot of people who had like pretty shit stuff to say about me as a kid, like it's pretty awkward,
Yeah.
you know, to see the person in front of you and realize like, oh my God.
You're like, oh
Yeah.
my god, I called this 13-year-old a dumb bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Justifiably
no,
so.
really.
Well, something
it's
interesting.
kind of crazy.
Something interesting looking back is like that was one of the first times I can remember on the internet and YouTube where everybody was like, we all agree that we fucking hate this person, this little girl. There was a lot of hate, right?
So much.
I mean, people like were
Yeah.
irrationally
Yeah.
angry at you.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Which, knowing the backstory, makes it even more fucked up because, like, you didn't even post it to the internet.
I know, but that, you know, was like a minute detail. Once you decide something is whatever. I mean, I like sometimes don't even know what to say on the like mass behavior of it all. But I think that this type of thing has happened before, not to compare myself so closely because totally different experiences, but like Britney Spears, like Lindsay Lohan, like these are like all like, I mean, Monica Lewinsky, like these are all like females who, or women who, females, not me saying females, women who have like
By
really.
the way, I also got corrected recently, or I got in trouble for saying females.
It's
Educated.
yeah.
But sometimes
Doesn't need to be
Sometimes
that.
I don't even know where it's like you would say female tennis player, right?
Sure.
But see, that's okay, right? Because if I say a woman tennis player, is that awkward sounding? I stopped
don't
saying
know.
female. It's gone.
I think
it's more so females.
Oh,
like
the female.
calling women females, which I didn't mean.
I
to
think
say,
it's just
but I
that
did.
the word has been ruined. It's not
Well, yeah,
necessarily wrong. Like
it's
you
been
could
used
say
as
that.
this like objectifying
Yeah.
term that people like Andrew
So,
Tate
right.
will use, you know, against women as like a way to not really call them.
Yeah, I didn't know that, but now once someone corrected me on that,
Yeah.
or made me aware, then I started hearing people like Fresh and Fit, Andrew Tate, and they go females. that's how you get the females. And then I was
Yeah.
like, oh my God, that is
Yeah.
really weird how they use
Very
that word.
weird.
It's pretty crazy. I mean, I think it. I don't want to speak on this too crazily because I really don't know, but like I think it has to do probably with like identifying a woman like solely by like her biological
Right.
assets.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so that's not what I meant.
No, of
Get on that
course.
tangent,
I just,
but-
it's just because it was on
Um,
my mind. So,
Yeah,
Yeah.
people have like over the course of history just like dedicated so much energy to disparaging women just because like they see other people doing it and it feels for whatever reason I don't know, good or empowering to do that. And yeah, whether I like it's interesting because I've experienced so many people say to me like, wow, I didn't realize you were 13, or even apologizing for what they said because they didn't realize I was 13, when I'm like, it really doesn't matter.
yeah.
But yeah.
So going back a little bit, so Taj.0 did some kind of, he covered the video on his website, not even on TV.
Yeah, maybe he did like, I think after it blew up, maybe he did like a little thing, but I actually don't remember.
And so from that moment, was there kind of like this exponential growth, or how did it go?
It was literally that moment that it like, or that day, that it hit Twitter, it hit like all, like probably 4chan, Reddit, like all those big.
Yeah.
But 4chan was definitely a big part of it at the time.
Best people.
Best.
To be
Yeah.
talking about a 13-year-old girl.
Yeah. And it literally like from that day, I mean, by the end of the weekend, it was like at over 1 million views, and then
Wow.
kept going. You
So
know?
as it was going up, that must have been pretty surreal. Were you like, what is happening? Were you scared? Were you excited? What were you
So
feeling?
scared.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, well, when I got home from school that day and I kind of saw what was happening, and like I saw somebody like link me to like the Tosh.0 post, and then that put me on the video, and I like saw that it had all these numbers, and I was like, whoa, I've never been perceived on the internet like this. And then kept scrolling to the comments, and like everything was just ruthless. And yeah, it was horrifying. I mean, I just like immediately, I think, went into shock and started crying, you know, to my
God.
mom.
That's so sad, actually, thinking back how that all played out for you.
Yeah, it was, I mean, it was scary. Like, cause I mean, I'd had like, I think I'd posted my own like stupid YouTube video like a few years before. And then I had like one random like comment that seemed like it was from an older man. This is like
Weird.
way pre-Friday, just me having fun. And I like immediately deleted all my accounts. I was like, no, I'm
Right.
scared of that. And so that was just like so hard to understand. And so, yeah, I mean, there was like questions of like, should we delete this or should, you know, it stay up? And for whatever reason, I decided like, let's keep it up. And
That I think was smart, just because there's no way to stop it at that point.
yeah.
Someone
I
would just
mean,
re-upload it.
Right.
re-upload it, and then you have even less control over like whatever happens to it. I mean, my parents
Right,
were also
right,
just
right.
like freaking out,
Yeah.
being like, what do we do? And
Were you guys immediately had this sense that this is a bad thing, this isn't going to be a good thing?
I felt like it was a bad thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, it was like horrible.
People were not like, oh, this song rules. Everyone was just like,
Yeah.
what kind of comments do you remember reading that kind of hit you hard as a 13-year-old girl?
I think the original like Tosh.0 thing was more so about like, oh, the lyrics are stupid, but like I just remember seeing so many people like pointing out like everything about me, and like just
Physically.
being like, she's ugly, she's
Damn.
an idiot, she's fat, she's,
Damn.
you know, just literally like everything.
That's crazy.
And yeah, experiencing like that like rush of just comments about you when you've never experienced that before as a kid.
And were you, as a kid, did you at a certain point stop reading, or did you scroll a lot and read a lot of the comments?
I was scrolling for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's hard not to.
It's so hard not to, because it's not just like your YouTube comments, it's your Twitter, it's your whenever Instagram became a thing, it's your I mean, people were like finding my like personal Facebook and like trying to say stuff. I mean, people were showing up to my dad's door with like deliveries and shit like that. And then there were death threats. Like it was just so insane out of nowhere.
And it was like, well, you got 1 million views in that one day, but it kept going, right? I mean,
yeah, it became the fastest video to reach 100 million views.
Wow.
Really?
Until I think it was Gangnam Style.
Holy shit.
Ate me out.
Let me ask you this. Having it been that popular over that amount of time, by the time it hit 100 million views, were you still feeling like this was a bad thing, or it was just like a bad dream that wouldn't end, or was there a moment where you were able to accept it?
I mean, it was really confusing because I would have like this whole thing happening, which felt like the most true version of what was happening when I would like sit alone in my room on my computer, just like doom scrolling on my own shit. And then like all of a sudden my parents are being like enamored with or tackled with like all these like let me help you out. There were attorneys and agents and managers and like let's help you set this up. Yeah, I mean stuff like that. But then also people who like in the industry were like, let's help you figure this out and do this, and like how can we make the most of this and all that. So I started getting these like really cool experiences that everyone around me, and I think my parents were probably trying to make the most, like just trying to help me like be positive about it. Like I gotta go on Jay Leno. I gotta like work with Katy Perry.
That's pretty crazy.
I gotta go to the Teen Choice Awards and win a Teen Choice Award. And like,
okay, that's cool.
It was cool, and those were really like crazy experiences to have. But then at the same time, like I would like spend the rest of my day, just like reading what was going down, and that really sucked. So
holy shit,
I was pretty like disassociated. Oh, you found the Tosh Bueno thing?
There you go, AB. Nicely done.
This is the post.
This is the Internet Archive.
Yeah.
Apparently, it's not even online anymore.
Wow.
Songwriting isn't for everyone. Of course, ironically, because you didn't write the song.
Yeah. Yeah, which is funny because like this isn't even that mean.
Yeah, that is interesting, isn't it? Oh, this is it. It's a really small post.
Yeah, and then it had. I think that was like the photo was of the video or a link to a video. Or
the joke they wrote is, Rebecca Black, are you sure these are the lyrics you want me to sing? Oh, so they didn't even blame you for the lyrics either.
I guess so. I don't even remember what this said.
Producer, what are you talking about, Rebecca Black? This part where I just kind of slowly explain the ordering of the days of the week? That's the hook, baby. We breaking it down for the kids. They're going to know those days. As an original comment, because they're probably one of the first people to comment on this, it's not that bad.
No. Which is insane considering how far people took it, Okay,
hold on one sec. I'm going to thank our sponsors real fast. Or it's just one sponsor, just 2 minutes. Okay. And then we'll get back into it. If you need to use the bathroom or anything.
I actually will.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah. So I'll do this.
Okay.
And then I'll see you in a couple minutes. Thank you. You too. Thank you, everybody, to our new sponsor today, Eula.
Yeah.
Kudos.
Kudos.
Kudos to you, my friends.
Kudos to kudos.
Now, you're already getting the best deal with Honey, but now you can get the most cash back with Kudos. Yes, thank you. Kudos is a free, smart wallet that helps you get the most rewards and benefits out of your credit cards whenever you shop online. I don't know if you know people like this. My dad is one of these people. Growing up, he'd always be like, Donna, my mom, you're using the wrong card.
Oh, yes.
You've seen that kind of thing? You're supposed to use this card, not that card. It's like, oh, Jesus Christ, who can keep track of this stuff? Well, with Kudos, that's exactly what they do. There's no more struggling to pick out the right card for the purchase. You just shop like normal, and at checkout, Kudos will show you the best card to use that gets you the most cash back. It's super easy to use. For example, if you're at Target, right, and you're buying something, Kudos is going to automatically recommend the Chase Freedom Flex card because it understands that at Target, during that quarter, you get the 5% cash back. Because like with the Chase cards, it rotates the category, it rotates when you get the cash back, and it's like, I don't know how people are supposed to triangulate that. You know what I mean? But Kudos does it for you, and that's what it's all about, isn't it?
You don't have to think about it.
You really don't. You really don't. And that's not it, actually. The best feature of Kudos, in my opinion, is that it reminds you of the secret, hidden credit card benefits. there are so many benefits to these credit cards, little nooks and ninnies. Like, I just can't keep track of it, and I don't have the energy to. For example, if you're buying something at Best Buy, Kudo reminds you that using the American Express Gold offers you purchase protection in case the new AirPods get stolen. That's a benefit that you would have never even known without Kudos. So it's actually pretty nice. It's a really cool service. It's free. It's super easy to use. And it's fun. I think you guys are really going to enjoy it. It's a no-brainer. The average user unlocks $750 per year. And for a limited time only, one lucky person who signs up for Kudos will receive a $50 gift card to Teddy Fresh. I know.
Whoa.
I know.
That's cool.
Kudos. So don't wait. Get Kudos for free by going to joinkudos.com/H3TV. Links in the description. That's joinkudos.com/H3TV. So they know that we sent you. Shop smarter with Kudos today. Thank you, thank you, thank you. With peace and love to Kudos. Love that. All right. Thank you for that. Excuse me. So I'm going back now. What happens to your life? I mean, overnight it gets 1 million views. When you go back to school the next day, are people starting to realize, or does it take time before people fully understand around you what's happening?
Yeah, I think I was out of town on like some school trip while it was all going down. And so I came back a few days later. And so it had been a few more days of like garnering up attention. And yeah, the first day back at school was pretty intense. Which, like, looking back, I'm like, I don't know why this happened, but like at recess, like every kid in the school just like came up and like I guess had questions or were like so equally confused and like trying to, I don't know, do something, being 12-year-olds.
So at first it wasn't like super negative amongst your peers. They were mostly just curious what the heck was going on.
Yeah, I think so. So. And then, I mean, honestly, like from that point, because everything got so insane in like my world, and now there were all these opportunities and obligations and, you know, us trying to figure out what was going on. I didn't spend a lot of time at school. And so,
really?
Yeah, I mean, I started doing like pretty poorly in my classes, and which like my parents being in like medicine are obviously like insane about, you know, their expectations. So I started doing like really poorly. So they ended up taking me out of school and putting me in a homeschool to finish the year. There were only like a couple of months of the year left. And, yeah, I mean, I had definitely some experiences with some kids in middle school around the time it was like really happening that were pretty shitty, you know,
Really?
Just kids like being stupid, you know, saying little things or singing the song in like a clearly not, you know, positive way, which like I wasn't looking for people to be like, I love your song, like you're amazing. Like even that felt really weird to me because I was like, well, I didn't like this. This feels like it has nothing to do with me and what I wanted to do, you know? Right. So, yeah, it was pretty much just that.
That's interesting. So you did homeschooling for a few months just because
a few years actually.
A few years.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Was that almost to get away from all because I feel like it would have been pretty hard for you to be, or maybe not hard, but different for you to be going through like high school and middle school and stuff normally.
Yeah.
In the face of all that.
Yeah, it was. I mean, because it just kind of like kept ballooning in my world, and like I got pretty isolated from some of my friends because obviously like I was in a really weird headspace and tackling a bunch of issues that I'd never dealt with before, and my friends were also probably like, hello, like where the fuck are you and what are you doing when I'm like up here, you know, for the first time and working and trying to figure out what the hell is happening. So it was, I spent my first couple years of high school doing like online school. And yeah, that was like probably the lowest pit of my like emotional.
Yeah, I can
health.
imagine that would be super isolating, just not
Yeah.
being at home, doing
Yeah.
school there, and then like, I don't know, do you even get to socialize at that point?
I found some friends through like Tumblr actually, which was how I kind of got connected to YouTube when I was like 16. I would just spend so much time online, and yeah, I kind of lost like a lot of my friends from before. Lost a lot of connection with them and just kind of did my own thing. And like my parents were obviously working full time. My brother was in school, so I was alone for the majority of like being 14 and 15, other than, you know, coming up and doing like, at that time I was with a manager that wanted me to go record new music and, you know, do all this other stupid shit, honestly. And yeah, it was really, really a pretty intense period.
So when you say that was the lowest point for you during that whole arc, like, how old were you at that point? Like 14, 15?
14, 15. Yeah.
So just overall, like feeling like depressed and stuff like that?
I was so depressed. Yeah. I was at one point I went and saw a therapist. I was on antidepressants. Those did nothing for me. I mean, I basically like, I think the thing that I felt at that time was like, whoa, how did this just happen? Where like I was, you know, less than a couple years ago or less than a year ago, I was in a place where I was like exploring and like so excited about like what my future could be like like before Friday ever happened. I was like such a like happy little musical theater kid, like so excited and passionate. And like at that point, I literally felt like all of that had just been like sucked out of me. And now I don't even get to like explore that. Like everyone has said like, no, we don't want you here. You don't belong here. You've actually ruined the sanctity of this for all of us. And like, you know, all of the scathing, like ruthless reviews that were going on at the time. And then also like dealing with now being a kid in the industry where like everyone is, you know, taking advantage of everything, you know, that you want to do or think that they should have you do so that they can capitalize off of it. Like it's really hard being a kid in a world where like you're in an industry where everyone is only just trying to figure out how they can, you know, capitalize off of you.
Do you have any regrets kind of how it was handled? Do you regret being homeschooled or doing the video at the time? Did you regret doing the video at all? Do you wish you could just like go back in time? Or
I probably had huge regrets at the time. Because I felt like I'd literally like ruined my life. I was like, what am I gonna do?
Just pushed you to like mature overnight, because it's almost like before you were this kid that could just be a kid and naive and, like you said, explore and imagine what the future would be, and then like and maybe not overnight, but over like a couple months. Yeah,
I mean, I think that all of a sudden now, like once everything happened, my brain to cope was just like, well, how do I make people not hate me?
Shit, yeah.
You know, so I like just tried to, you know, cope with what I thought that could be and became, you know, I mean, like not that any 13-year-olds have a sense of self, but like that development for me was so delayed because my whole teenagehood became like, how do I become, you know, how do I find a group that like identifies with me and like thinks I'm like, you know, not this like bizarre, like weird, dejected person. And which might sound like extreme to people who are listening, but it like being a kid, like you have no other experience.
That doesn't sound extreme at all.
To base your life.
No,
on.
the experience you went through was like, I mean, nobody else, your experience was so unique that I can imagine be super hard to find anybody to relate with you.
Yeah. I mean, I was really isolated and I spent a lot of my time online. Like that was what's so ironic about the whole thing is like, I spent so much time isolated by myself trying to find who I was that like that was when like my love for like music and finding the artists that like really resonated with me and all of that really began. Where it's like I was like, you know, just like a little 13-year-old like Justin Bieber stan before.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's how I feel like I started to find like some semblances of like real deep love for music, was because that was literally like all I had alone in my room. And Tumblr, you know? And yeah, it was an intense.
Were you guys ever able to make any money from that whole situation?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I own the master to the song.
Okay.
I didn't write it, so I don't own the publishing, but I own the
So you
master.
own the recording. So anytime anybody used the song, you get paid. And then also, does ARC get paid for the writing? How does that work?
Can't talk about that.
Oh, you can't talk about that. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's nice though that you at least made a little bit of money from it. And you still are you still getting paid for sometimes people use it and
Yeah, sometimes.
nice.
I mean, I like have a lot of other stuff going on now, luckily, that it's not my, main source of revenue, but it did. I mean, my, like the way that it works in the entertainment industry is like when you're underage, the way it's supposed to work at least is like, if you're an underage person in the industry, you get a Coogan account set up. So when you turn 18, 20% of everything you've made gets opened up to you and only you. Which my parents would have never like touched that shit. But yeah, so.
Do you find it totally crazy as someone who was super famous as a child, how on YouTube there's like no protection laws for kids?
It's insane.
Isn't it so crazy? It blows my mind every time.
I know. Yeah, it's really interesting to see like the world of like the family vloggers and like the kid influencers. And I remember like growing up and then becoming friends with a lot of YouTubers and hearing their stories about supporting their families. And I mean, it's really like, I wouldn't know how to go about that, but like, it seems like by now there should be more in place.
So when you say that there's an account that needs to be made and the 20%, like that stuff doesn't happen on YouTube families, or I guess there's
I don't know. It's
watches.
supposed to in the entertainment industry. Like
it doesn't, I don't think, because YouTube is
crazy.
Kind of
removed.
It's outside.
Right.
It's outside the thing. But
So it's
yeah.
like whatever they choose to do is what they
Dude,
do.
if there's some
Crazy.
kids where there's some channels where they're using their kids to make like kids content or video.
Yeah.
I mean, the biggest one, and I'm not saying they're doing anything wrong. I don't know, but this one, Ryan's Toys Reviews. Dude, they probably make hundreds of millions of dollars.
Right, I know
like,
that one
legit.
because I think one time it was like the most earning channel or most subscribed something. Yeah.
It's crazy.
It's still popping, but
wow.
this kid Ryan, who's he's super young when they started, and
I've never seen anything bad about them, so there's a chance that they are responsible.
I mean, I hope so.
But there's so many other ones. It's just
well, and even now, like you see, like these like kids on TikTok, right, who are getting all these brand deals, and like, I mean, I'm lucky that like my parents had at least like some right guidance because they had no fucking idea what to do. Like set me up with like a company that like I'm the sole, I mean, at least when I turned 18, I became the sole owner of and like had my stuff protected, which every child in the industry should have.
Yeah.
Or like, I mean, even like labor laws. Like
that
was something that I learned about when I even like would go on like a late night set as a 13-year-old. Is like you have to have a set teacher. You're only allowed to be like working for a certain period of days. Or certain hours, The
laws of working with children is crazy strict. And on YouTube, none of that shit applies.
No. Even when I was on the Katy Perry video, like I was a co-star on her video for Last Friday Night.
Yeah.
And that was so strict. You know?
Like, what was it like?
I mean, I hated it at the time, obviously, because I'm like, why am I doing school? But I would like get to set, had to have a set teacher with me at every point.
How long were you on set?
I was on probably for like, I don't know, 12, 14 hours. I don't remember.
Just one time?
A couple days.
A couple days. Okay. So this teacher was with you the whole time?
They have to be with you for a certain, I don't know the rules.
Do they actually teach you shit, or is it just like bureaucracy?
I think because I was doing online school, I did like majority of, she was basically just supposed to like be there to encourage me to do it. But probably knowing me, I was like on Twitter the whole time. So, there could be more work done and,
So what other things happened on set for you in like the Katy Perry
God.
video?
That one was so rare. I met Corey Feldman.
Oh.
The king.
The king. He was really very sweet, actually, and like playing on his like Nintendo DS the whole time. Katy Perry was honestly like so cool to me back in the day, and so just like sat down with me and like talked to me several times.
Oh, that's nice.
Just kind of gave me like some advice. Glee was like huge at the time. I got to meet them. I don't remember what else.
There was also something that I remember kind of during that 2-year period you mentioned, where the original music video was on Arc Music Factory, and then it moved to your personal channel.
Yes, it got re-uploaded.
I have to imagine that there was some kind of issue there.
I can't really talk about it.
Okay.
I mean, I'm sure if people like can read about it.
Okay, there is information about it. But that situation, whatever it was, must have been really intense too.
Yeah. I mean, at the time, I was honestly pretty shielded from anything other than like my experience just being a kid. And my parents wanted to keep it that way of like, you know, anything messy or
so
inappropriate for a 13-year-old to be involved in shouldn't be.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was like a very confusing period.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did your parents feel like they made a mistake, or were they kind of feeling heat from this whole situation too?
Probably. You know, I mean, I think, yeah, I'm probably due to check in with them again, because it's like, we've all learned so much and kind of in hindsight have looked at it in a whole new lens. And I think that now, like, my parents are just happy that I'm like doing something that I love and able to take care of myself. And, you know, I do think that there's pieces of that experience that made me who I am today and put me where I am today. But yeah.
This comment is the tea is confidential. Also, people are keep asking me if we've talked about Patrice. She is unable to discuss Patrice.
Yeah.
As it relates to Friday. Are you able to talk about Patrice as it relates to other things?
I can't.
You can't. Okay, fair enough.
I can't.
Respect.
Yeah. Sorry to everyone.
Keep it smart. No, don't. No.
You know.
Hey, listen. You gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you feel
We could say this for legal reasons. You can't discuss it. Can you say that, or you won't even go that far?
Say that.
You can't say that.
You can say that.
I can say that. Okay. So you neither confirm nor deny what I just said.
I
That
cannot
is for legal.
conform.
Okay, there it
Conform,
is.
confirm,
Wow.
nor deny.
Yeah, there's some serious business happening. Okay.
There's some serious biz.
Yeah, serious
Yeah.
business. Yeah, I wouldn't want to cross Patrice either. That dude scares the shit out of me. He threatened me once.
Really?
Yes.
Or he actually had me hiding. He had me leave my house. I was so scared.
We literally did. We did.
He did some live stream.
Wow.
He
Where-
did like a time count, like counting backwards to something.
Wow.
And nobody knew
He had
what.
H3 in the title.
And there was H3 in the
and
title.
it was like a static live shot of a bathroom curtain that kept moving. And I was
it
like,
was like-
this is fucking
it was
terrifying.
very
That's
scary. It was
That's
scary.
scary. I would be scared too.
So we
Actually,
actually like drove away from the house for whatever is happening at that count
Wow.
ending to not be there, because we were
Also,
like
Wow.
scared.
we first discovered it. I was actually doing a show with Post Malone, and then someone's like, "Yo, you got to pull up Patrice's channel." And we were watching it, and we were so scared. And then, and also he's fucking like insanely like superhuman jacked, and
Yeah,
he
that too.
scares me. That boy ain't right.
If there's one thing I like don't fuck with, it's like anytime I feel like my safety is like, I mean, because people be out here being.
Have you
That's
ever felt unsafe during this whole situation?
Yeah. Not necessarily related to any of the people that we've talked about, but like being a young woman online attracts, unfortunately, naturally, like some really insane people. And I've had some experiences where people who have inappropriately showed up at some of my parents' businesses, have showed up at my shows, who have made some comments or written some crazy emails. I one time when I went back to public high school had like a letter sent to my school. Yeah.
Like what? What did the letter say?
It was like it was sent to the police department, or I don't know. I got called out of school for it, but just like some like gibberish remarks about me and my family, and classic like
Jesus
nonsense stuff. Yeah,
like serial killer shit.
It was. I mean, they ended up like tracking it down and realizing it was like a, like.
Oh, they investigated it.
Yeah, I mean, they have to against like a child.
So that's terrifying. I mean, I've had stuff like to me happen as an adult, and it scares me.
Yeah, I mean, there were death threats like right after Friday. We had a security officer outside our house for like a month.
So was that like a state issued security officer, or was that like private security?
I don't know. Yeah, good question.
That's crazy.
But, yeah, people be out here doing some really, really insane things and saying some insane things.
Yeah.
It's just kind of interesting to think back, like how angry this video. I feel like that just must have fucked with a young person's head, like being hated by so many people for literally no reason, really. At the end of the day, you're just having fun. Didn't even mean for it to go online.
Yeah, I mean, it did, but for whatever reason, I'm here.
Yeah.
And I ended up like with some mix of, therapy and also I think probably trying to reason with whatever happened to me. Like I, for the past 7 years since being out here, like have been so dedicated to just doing something for myself and the audience that I have had and built like over the last few years, especially. And, I mean, I think I got to a point where like, how depressing would it be if I literally like just did nothing? I've discarded like all of these things I was so passionate about, as a kid, and like the joy that something brought me as a kid.
I think that to me is the coolest part about your journey. And I think it resonates with a lot of people too. Like you would assume after going through all that you would just be like, I'm exiting this whole thing. But what's interesting and I think really commendable is that you actually stuck with it and continue to like, I mean, the stuff you do now obviously is your own thing. It sounds great.
Thank you.
The EP you dropped was really good.
Thank you.
And I'm definitely going to listen to your new album coming out next month on the 8th.
The 9th. February 9th.
Yes. Everybody. Go to Best Buy and open it on all the tablets and just let it run, right? Streams.
Best Buy, Apple, Target.
Yeah. Apple's a good one. There's lots of open tablets there.
Yeah.
But it's actually super commendable and awesome that you stayed with it and turned it into a positive experience for you.
Yeah. I mean, well, I found a really like, again, I ironically, like through this experience, I found such a passion and an outlet in music. And I really, as I started to get older and look back on what had happened to me, I had said like to myself, like, I want to do this right. And I want to do this in, a way that like feels really good to me. And as somebody who, as a child and for like a long period of my life, had no control over any piece of her life, what happened to her, what was said about her, what people thought about her, what she can and can't say, like I like fuck, like the one thing I'm gonna do is like find something for myself and do it with my like whole ass pussy and then some. And again, like I've been so lucky to find an audience that has like really resonated with my journey and my music and what I'm here to do. And like I'm here to be a fucking pop star. Like I've always known that ever since I started, really trying to harness like what my music could sound like and what the visions I had for myself could look like. Like I've just followed that. And yeah, so I hope people listen to the album because
they're going to on February 9th.
February 9th.
Y'all better be opening and listening and streaming 24 hours. So what was there a point during, your this process of living through this where you said I'm going to try making like music for myself that other people would maybe want to listen to as well?
I think it was more so, well, it was a, really like complicated process in terms of like, I had to work backwards basically. And whereas like most, I think music artists would like write a few songs and like those would kind of, just kind of live in the sanctity of their own world before anything maybe gains traction. Like I had such a kick me sign on my back and like so much, I guess, kind of up against me that I needed to push through just to get people to even like give it any sense of legitimacy. And so I spent a lot of years like writing a ton of shit, a ton of bad stuff, a ton of like maybe okay stuff, and just trying to like really understand to me like what if I had something to say that has nothing to do with like what I've been through, like what would, but also everything to do with what I've been through, like what would that look like and what would that sound like? And, I just tried to follow like the sounds and the things that I've felt so inclined towards and like aligned with and tried to make music for that. So I think for a period it was like, let's make music that's digestible, but that actually didn't do anything for me either. It was like, let me make music that I get to at the end and I'm like, this is mine. This is mine and nobody else's. And I don't really care if people like it or not. I know that like, this is a valid something because it feels at least like me.
And when you
which I never got to have with Friday,
Right. When you started posting it online again, a lot of people must have been like, she can't be serious. Like she's coming out trying to make music again. Or was there
Probably.
A lot of people who were like, okay, I can fuck with this? Or were you not even in the comments?
I am always in the comments.
I know.
I think that it's periodically like changed over time. And, come like a couple years ago when I started putting out my last EP, Rebecca Black was here and I put out the 10-year Friday remix. Like that felt like the moment where, and I came out, I talked about my experience, I think a little bit more with Friday, just like honestly and what I was feeling. And that resonated with people, I think more than anything else. And I have always followed that like, or tried to follow, I guess, that line of myself and just have like trust that there'll be people that see that resonate
well
with
they certainly do. I mean, you have like a really dedicated fans, man. They love you. And in the chat, lots of love for you. And just next door in Teddy Fresh, you have like like people were like
so cool. That really is like, it's so cool for me and like means so much for me to hear. Even if like one person I meet is like
definitely more than one person.
Yeah,
like when Ela reached out to me on Instagram, I was like, holy fuck.
Well, some of
because
y'all,
that wasn't always the case.
some of you guys on the crew were fans who were like, yo, we should
cool.
check out Rebecca Black. Yeah, Olivia.
I love
Ian.
your
Yeah.
music. I love your new music.
Oh,
Thank
and
you.
Ian, by the way,
Is the culture,
he's our
is the
culture.
tastemaker here.
Wow.
Which one are you talking about, Ian, that you love?
Well, your song with Slater. Was
Wow.
One of my favorite tracks
Wow.
that year. I love
Thank
that
you.
song.
Dude,
Thank
that's
you.
huge
Slater
coming
is
from
iconic.
Ian. He barely even talks. So that means a lot.
Wow. Yeah, no, I mean, it means so much that people are like listening and like vibing. And like, I did my first headlines last year in US and in Europe. And like, I got to sell out so many of those
That's
shows.
crazy.
I got to go to Australia and play shows. And like, Friday is a fucking bop live.
Can you ever do that live? Like, how do you?
I always do it live.
No
Really?
way.
Actually,
That's
I
gotta
won't
tear
confirm
it
or deny
down.
that. You'll have to come to the show and see it.
So you hit it like the old school Friday?
No, I played
You,
the remix.
yeah, the
remix.
remix.
I did a remix in 2021.
Can you
for the
play the
10-year.
old school Friday?
Yeah.
You can.
Yeah.
Okay.
That would be
Just curious.
But I I did a remix that was produced by Dylan Brady of 100 Gex, and that had Dorian Electra, Big Frida, 303 on it. We did a whole video.
Yeah, how'd you get that together? How do you get in the process of getting all those?
It was psychotic.
Yeah.
I mean, I had the idea for so long, and it was basically just a matter of like tracking people down and being like, this would be so fucking cool if you did this. Will you do it? And like people like Dorian and Dylan, I had like become a little bit friends with through working together, meeting each other. And yeah, everyone was just like
That's
psyched
crazy.
about it.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
I feel
what-
like the way you've handled like owning it has been perfect.
For sure.
Yeah.
Like
Thank
putting
you.
out the remix and showing that you kind of like have a new creative spin on
Thank
it,
you.
and in a way it's kind of like launching your new direction at the same time, but also saying like, yeah, this is also my past.
Yeah.
Like, not trying to like run
Yeah.
away from it.
And making that remix wasn't about like, and now I'm going to show you guys that this is actually a good song. It was like, let me take this thing that I had no control of
Right.
and do something absolutely batshit with it. And in a way that like fits all of my creative, like, you know, I don't know, things and pieces and inspirations that I love. And also like there's so many tributes to that era. Like there's the troll memes in there. There's like all these like really fun things that I was stoked to be able to include in that as like, this is a crazy moment, you know, looking at how the internet has even changed over the past 10 years.
Oh,
and
yeah.
now you have artists like that almost make cringe like really cool. And that's been a really cool thing to see just as like a watcher of how pop culture
I
shifted.
think what's interesting too, kind of about your path, is that a lot of the people who, you know what I was thinking? Friday's a lot like 9/11. And let me tell you why.
Okay.
Let me tell you why. It's because everybody
Welcome to the
remembers
History
where they
Podcast.
were. I remember where I was in my life during
do
the
remember
Friday
where I
thing.
was.
I remember.
In
and
Israel.
that it might even be more 9/11 than 9/11, if I'm
Oh
being
my
honest.
god.
Okay.
I was in Israel, and you know, it was like such a huge moment. What, Dan?
I just had to jump in and say I remember exactly where
It's
I was.
everybody remembers.
Insane as that is to say,
Yeah.
I actually do.
Wow.
I was in college. I was in a set building class, and a friend of mine walked up to me and was like, "Hey, you seen this?" And yeah, no, you're right. You're right.
Everybody's saying same.
See, what's insane is like my girlfriend that I've been dating for the last year was so unaware of Friday. She lived in Paris
Wow.
at the time.
Wow.
And
Okay,
like,
Paris vibes.
I know. But she was like so unaware of anything that had happened and like knew of my name because we had found mutual friends and all of that. But yeah, I unfortunately like came to a point where I was like, I feel like I have to make you watch this to like get the full picture of what's going on here. I
Was it kind of nice, I guess, that she doesn't know?
don't really
Maybe.
care.
You
I mean,
didn't
as long as you're not like a dick to me about it, I like, you know, it is what it is.
Yeah.
So, but my point, I guess, was that we all remember where we were.
That is really true.
I was working.
Yeah.
This is before I had a career. Before I
Pre-YouTube.
even wanted to be on YouTube or make a
Yeah.
YouTube, or even kind of when I was still learning about what YouTube was.
Right.
That was when Friday hit.
Wow.
And I think a lot of the people who were younger at that time and saw that go down and participated in all this Friday mania, and now seeing you grown up and hearing about your experience now, I feel like a lot of people have like are now rooting for you and wanting to support you as a result of realizing how fucked up that situation was, and then coming out and seeing that you weren't like defeated by that. I think a lot of people want to support that, myself included. You know what I mean?
Awesome. Well, thank you.
Yeah.
I mean, that's really sweet. And
Everyone's had a lot of time to mature and then realize, oh, that was so crazy and fucked
well,
up.
shit's gotten like worse in the world. I mean, shit was probably really bad in 2011 too, but like there's bigger fish to fry. But then again, I still see it like all the time. The internet, which even this was the case when I was a kid, is I would like some of the tweets I remember so specifically that I would get that were like the grossest, like meanest thing.
Like what, if you remember them?
Oh, just stuff that was like, you should kill yourself, you ugly bitch. Like,
Yeah, that hurt.
we're coming from people who had like, I'm an anti-bullying advocate like, in their bio on Twitter.
Wow.
And I still see that shit all over the place with like these young girls and kids who get online and are just like, I mean, I have an almost 8-year-old sister, and like I see her on TikTok every day, just like using it, like watching shit, and I'm like, please, like stay like safe and pure and like all of that, because people are ruthless still, you know?
Well, what's your advice to kids as someone who's been through probably the most crazy experience on social media? How do you survive that? Like, how do you keep sane through all that?
Well, if you're dealing, I mean, I guess my advice would more so be to like adults than to kids, because to me, kids like should not be the ones in charge of like, you know, not getting bad comments or hate given towards them or inappropriate comments. If you're a kid and like you're dealing with things that feel really difficult, like you shouldn't be. That wasn't the most eloquent way to say that, but like if you're getting hateful comments online or things said about you, like, one, that's not just something that you have to deal with as like a kid or that you deserve to deal with. You deserve to be able to have like a creative output and a creative outlet and to be safe. You know, you don't have to earn that as a child. I think more so my advice would be to parents of like, I see so many parents nowadays kind of like their big way of dealing with the internet with their kids is like, don't look at it. Like, you're not allowed to have it. And like, you're not allowed to do any of this. And no, which I understand, but kids are going to find their way on it. Like, I wish I saw more parents like actually taking the time to like be just aware of like what even like actually TikTok is, or like what actually goes down, or like talk to your kid like in a way that's not judgmental or like condescending about what they're watching or intaking. Just be aware so that your kid feels like they can come to you if something goes wrong. You know, that was always like the thing that really helped me, was at least I could come to my parents and like, and my mom specifically, and just be like, I am so confused and lost. And you know, she could just support me through that. And like, I don't know. But
we have 2 young boys. So this is actually something I've always been wondering, or I've been thinking about a lot as they get older, and the social media thing becomes inevitable.
Yeah.
But I think that's really good advice, because it's like abstinence only education. I mean, you're not going to keep them off.
Yeah.
And
I was a kid in a situation where my dad just didn't let me do anything.
Really?
Like just nothing. So I hated that, you know, so I know
really
how that
fucked her up,
feels.
too.
Really?
And that's not
She's
healthy
super
in any way.
dysfunctional.
Yeah. Well, did you go
really
and
bad.
find it elsewhere anyway, or no?
Yes, I did. But if not at that moment, then you do it later, which is also like just annoying, because you don't get to do it with your friends when they're doing it.
Well, and like,
it's just isolating.
Yeah. And it's so, I don't know. I just think it's really backwards. And then again, I'm not a parent, so take what I'm saying with a grain of salt, but like, to see any like way of progress moving in terms of like, well, we can't allow the children to be a part of this because it's the children that are online that are the problem. No, it's the inappropriate people that are online, and the hateful people, or the people who use the internet as like some weird anonymous outlet to say shit to get through their own life. Like, that's the issue. So why aren't we doing something about that?
I think that's the best advice. If a parent can like go spend time on the app, see what it is, and creating like an open door, a judgmental door, judgment-free door for their kids is definitely, I think, the best. The best.
I don't know. We're all also like watching this go down. So who knows?
And by the way, huge dub for you recently on Andrew Tate.
Whoa.
That was fucking awesome. Dude, that was so good.
Thank you.
And so true, by the way. You tweeted.
It's just simply facts. I mean, I said nothing but facts.
So good. You said I was 13. This man was 36. And this song, I mean, this is
and
like,
we know he wrote this.
This is
we
a
know he wrote
grown-ass man who made this and put it online.
It's just embarrassing.
Yeah, well, he's in jail, so.
Facts.
I'm the type of guy, bitches on the side. I'ma spend the money, we can spend a little time. All you gotta do is ask me.
Oh my god.
Look classy.
It like actually like
Oh my god.
it gives me a hard time even watching it.
You know what? You know what? The only thing missing is a verse by Patrice. That would crush this.
Facts.
No, no, dude, I still remember Patrice's verse. I think. Like,
I mean, it's an iconic verse.
it's so iconic. It's just so bizarre. It's just so fucking bizarre. Oh my god.
Yeah. No. R.B. Rebecca Black was an iconic one.
Yes.
Sorry.
At least he's hyped you up. You know what I mean?
It's true.
Rebecca
In that moment, he hyped me up. Yeah.
Well,
Do you
there
feel
it
like
is.
it's in like always present in your life even today because you're growing up and still maturing? I don't know if it's almost like a traumatic experience where sometimes it takes like a long time, can take years to unpack really what happened to you in a way, like looking at it in an adult's eye instead of because your memory is like in a kid's point of view.
Yeah.
Looking at it now as an adult, is it still like with you all the time? Kind of like.
I mean, I think my perspective has changed every year. Like as I grow older, I have new understanding because also like there were so many pieces of what went down. Like you said, I was a kid, like I was barely even involved in it. And so now as a 25-year-old, I learn like, oh, wow, I didn't even realize that happened, or I didn't even realize this went down. And yeah, I mean, it definitely stays with me. I mean, clearly here I am like talking about it. But I've done a lot of work. I mean, I did like years of intense therapy. I think I've become a lot more comfortable coming to peace with that. And again, like in my world, like with my audience, like Friday is like whatever, you know?
Yeah.
Like, so that's what I care about is like my new shit, like everything that my like fans are so fucking cool to me about. Like nobody really gives a shit about Friday other than being like, it's a gay icon moment, you know? And like we all sing to it at the show and we're like, this is crazy, you know? And that is like really has been the biggest like accomplishment for me. And also I still know is like a huge accomplishment for me if I want to do this is like so many people. I still see shit every now and again of like people saying like stupid 2011 era jokes.
Does it bother you or not anymore?
I mean, I just know it'll exist, but like I know that like I'm in a pivotal moment for myself that like as an artist and like as somebody who is like here to do this as just as much of a pop star as like any of the other girls out there right now or pop people. You know, I still am like, I want people to listen to the album. I want people to see the show. I want people to take me, you know, not just as like, oh, this is good for the Friday girl, but like, this is good, you know, or like just make an opinion on it separate of Friday. Cause like, that's so old. Nothing makes you look like more fucking cringe online than like saying like some weird, like, a death battle between Justin Bieber and Rebecca Black, like, or if like Rebecca Black and whoever were in a house fire, would you like get a drink or like go get a coffee? Like, nothing makes you look worse. I think.
I mean,
you know,
people are still saying stuff like that.
I can't either, but they
Pretty
do.
wild. Okay, well,
So,
but you know, people were asking me to pull this up just to go back for a minute. This is the clip. We were live on the podcast. We were with Post Malone.
Wow. Oh, wow.
And then somebody sent us this link. And they're like, yo, Patrice is streaming and he has your name in the title. That is a real
that's
curtain.
a real curtain?
I'm
I thought
You have to turn this off.
We thought
I thought that it was
Wait.
like
we thought it was an
outside
image.
remove this?
And then we realized there was someone
so
behind
weird.
it.
Oh, wow.
It was so creepy,
So
dude.
weird. What?
Oh my God.
Freaked out. I'm
Very
legitimately
large
scared.
countdown.
Yeah. I know. He had me at
Aw.
Look how skinny I am. Holy shit, dude. What the hell? Anyway, here.
What if he comes out with like a kid's head? And then what? Like,
Yeah,
what do you
exactly.
do then?
Yeah.
I'll find out
my
later.
God.
I'll find out later.
We were looking at it.
Yeah, I don't know. It was really weird. It was really
Gosh,
creepy.
baby.
Yeah.
Wow.
That was a while ago. Shit.
That's crazy. Young post too. What a
Yeah.
cutie.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, he was a youngin then.
Wow.
Well, listen. It's all good things happening for Rebecca Black, and I'm happy for you, and I'm glad
you.
people are taking notice. Especially, I'm glad that everyone's adding to their calendar that "Let Her Burn." Rebecca's full-length debut album is coming out February 9th. Coming out everywhere.
There's singles out now. You can listen.
Singles are out right now.
Yeah.
Start streaming.
Bop. Look at you, Bop. Sick to my stomach. Bop.
Sick to My Stomach. That's the one you love. Yeah, Olivia's
That's my favorite
Sick to
too.
My Stomach.
One of my favorites.
Everybody's asking for Pride Minute. I don't know if that. Do you guys think that's appropriate for me to do right now?
For what?
I do this thing where we do a Pride Minute. So we have 1 minute to celebrate, and then at the end of it, we tell people to basically get back in the closet and to be ashamed.
That's so cool that you did that.
Yeah.
Okay.
We want to do it?
Well, if you do enough minutes,
It adds up.
that would be more than a month. I could see it being beneficial. But if that's
But are you?
then,
People are saying, are you gonna do the second part though?
oh no.
We'll see. We'll feel the vibe. And then I cosplay as like a.
We're not gonna do any like not slay gay shit.
Yeah.
No, we are slay. We are pro. We are slay
It is-
gay.
it
like,
is all,
day, every day. We're Pride.
It is all a parody, but
Yeah, it's all very
Fair,
fair.
fair, fair.
And then I cosplay as like a fire and brimstone preacher who says that when two dudes kiss, there's a hurricane in Florida and stuff. So people want it, and I don't know if I didn't want to put you in that position, but it is all parody, and we have a lot of gay kings and queens and trans people in our audience.
We love that.
Yeah, the gays are they want it though, so I guess we can do it, and then you can.
Have you ever been out in WeHo before? Or like been out have y'all ever like been out in the scene? That's one of my favorite things
no.
to do is like take straight people to like gay clubs.
No,
No, I would
haven't.
love
I don't
to.
I don't go to any clubs.
well, yeah, we don't really go out at all.
That's fair.
Actually,
That's fair.
I haven't.
But I would love to.
Work. Well, Akbar, great place.
I've got two boys. I don't have any time. I don't do any bars.
Yeah.
Wow.
I prefer not to leave the house personally.
I mean, that's fair. Same,
You know,
honestly.
that's just my preference.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. No, I
That's
show
always
Pete.
so crazy to me, or like the ways that people get there was this era where I kept getting tagged in stuff that was like the giant women thing. There's like a thing of like gigantress. Is that what they call it? Giantess. That's what they're called. I think it's so epic.
Well,
you know?
I wonder what's the
I'm
fantasy.
So honored to be included. Like
What a
of all the
beautiful
things that
titan.
people have like cropped me into over the years, this is
Do they want to get like stomped by you? Do they
don't
want to
know.
get eaten by you?
I don't know.
I
Just-
think
Giantess
it kinda
community,
makes
speak
it-
up.
It's like they look at you as like this super powerful
Yeah, maybe.
giant.
I'm into it.
Here. Okay.
Yes.
Just chilling
Just chilling.
in Cedar Rapids.
I love it.
Oh wow, the feet, bro. Oh my
Wow. I
God,
can't
you're
believe
like
I've got that.
you giving that out for free?
I guess I was. This must have been before I really knew.
Good. Yeah, you gotta,
I'm kind of giving the same vibe today.
you got to be careful with the feet on the internet today, man. People go crazy for that. You got to
I
charge.
know. Well, yeah, no. Now the feet are being saved for like. We'll find a moment. For the
Yeah,
feet,
yeah.
You know.
Good. Oh, here's more of this stuff. This
It's
is really,
epic.
This is
I
really
think it's epic.
fascinating.
Yeah.
Here you are.
There I am. Just walking.
Damn, you're a massive. That's the biggest I've ever
That's
seen.
a really
you.
good one. I like what they added.
Holy shit. You're like, and there's like actually mayhem and destruction. Of you.
Yeah, there's destruction.
You're like destroying the landscape.
I like the realism of that. That is one of the bigger ones I've seen. That's very large.
Dude, you're like a mile tall.
Size Twitter. A certain sparkle told me it wasn't Friday when I posted the last Rebecca Black collage. Well, now it's Friday, and those boots do be stomping.
Oh shit, sorry.
That's all I guess I needed to read
I have
about.
some questions from the audience if you want to field some.
Sure.
All right, let's take a look here. The Discord's just full of big ass pictures of you. Here, let me pull. Actually, I got one more I want to look at. Oh my God, this is actually pretty graphic, you guys. This page is maybe not safe.
Okay.
All right, here, let's say if you could go back in time, would you change anything about your experience Or what would you tell yourself?
I don't think I would change anything. I mean, that's a whole other like mess of possibilities.
Mm-hmm.
And I do think that through that experience, I learned certain things about myself. I gained like a certain amount of empathy for, people with similar experiences and all of that like definitely has shaped me hopefully for the better. So I don't think I would change anything. And also like, I don't think that, and this has been something I've come to recently, like, I don't think I did anything wrong.
No.
Mm-hmm.
Which I think was something I had to take a long time to grapple with.
Did you feel guilty through it all? Like,
Of course. I felt like an
that's
idiot.
so interesting.
What
did you feel guilty for? Just making it? Just being there?
Being there, for fucking it up, for doing something stupid. Like, it's, like that kind of feeling of like, when you pick out like a pair of shoes and you're like, oh, this is cool, I like these. And then someone's like, what are those fucking ugly? I mean, I hope nobody does this, but like, what are those
Yeah.
vibes? I had a lot of shame is what it was. But if I could go back in time, I mean, I guess that'd be like one of the things I would tell myself. It was like, there is no need to have shame around this. And that's something that as a 13-year-old, you're not going to understand for
You're
a
not ready
long
to hear it,
time.
yeah.
But like, you did nothing wrong, and like, you have nothing to feel sorry about or like ashamed about or guilty about. Yeah, because that was probably the most hurtful part, or the most destructive part, was the shame.
Was going out hard for you? Like going out to a restaurant, going on vacation, whatever. I'm sure y'all went out. Did people recognize you a lot out?
Yeah, like it just depends,
Yeah.
I like, now I've felt that more, and back in the day it was like I definitely felt afraid of it. I'd had some experiences of people who would like spot me in a mall and be like, saying crazy shit from across the room or something. Or,
Heckling you?
yeah. And I had like high school was pretty rough when I went back into public high school, but yeah, it's chill.
Is there a dream collab for you in mind?
Oh my gosh, there's so many people I would love to work with. I would love to work with, there's so many people in my field. I feel like the Charlie XCXs, I get that like ass all the time. She's so cool. I love her. Would love to like have like some, I don't know, like a Pitbull collab. That'd be epic.
Pitbull? Okay.
Yeah.
Mr. Worldwide?
Mr. Worldwide.
Whoa.
Sir.
Would you settle for an Oliver Tree?
Maybe.
I could probably put in a word.
There's
but I don't
definitely
know.
been some like communication.
There has.
there has.
See, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I think it would be good for him. I'm not sure that would be good for your career to.
Yeah,
do a
we'll
song
have
with
to
him.
see.
Kind of doesn't have a great reputation, and his
But-
music isn't that good.
Wow.
Yeah.
Shots fired.
No, he's my buddy.
No, I think some of his stuff is cool. There's a lot of like really cool, I think, artists out there that I don't know whether they're more up and coming and stuff like that. I love to
Okay.
work with. Yeah.
Do you have any bad celebrity encounters
Ooh.
or good ones? I know you had a good one with Katy Perry. It sounded like.
I had a good one with Katie. Bad. I've honestly been pretty fortunate to like have cool experiences. Bad celebrity encounters. I'm trying to think. I think probably one of the worst moments of my life was like I went to some award show and like Justin Bieber had a snake there, and I was I was such a big fan of this guy. Like I literally talked about it in interviews. I had like a cutout and he walked by me and he just like bumped into me with a snake, and it was so unintentional on his part. Like he literally didn't even know I existed, but there was nothing more like hurtful as like a fan to just like be like, okay,
He shoulder
I'm never
bumped
gonna
you.
be. Yeah, we were just like in a tight space and he like fully unintentionally shoulder bumped me. And I was just like, damn, I'm never gonna be that girl. Never gonna be one less
Damn,
lonely
that
girl.
really crushed you.
Yeah.
He had a snake on him?
Yeah.
Yeah, he brought a snake to an award show.
A little bit.
Pull that up.
Interesting.
Yeah. But otherwise, like, I'm trying to think. I think I've been pretty chill with like decent experiences. Yeah. Everyone's a little weird.
Do you? Oh, you know what? It's funny. You were saying that you're a fan of Shane and all this stuff. Is it kind of weird how like all that's developed?
Yeah.
Like Shane got like brutally canceled, man.
Yeah. I mean, I've talked about that a little bit, and like it was interesting when. Wow.
This is us.
Love.
We're half underground, interesting.
We are, just popping up, in the middle of LA. Where are we? We're like by the 405. Okay.
I see the Capitol building right there. I think you're in Hollywood.
Oh, wow.
Of
Okay,
course
so
we're
we're
in
like,
Hollywood.
this is my neighborhood. Wow.
Love that.
That's epic.
Yeah,
We're
thank
just
you.
crushing the Palladium. Great.
We own that city.
But I've talked about the Shane stuff a little bit. I mean, when all of that came up, I mean, I don't even know if I have a lot to say on it at this point.
Yeah,
I think
as a fan,
said it. I mean, we did some like collabs, and he had me like on his podcast when I was younger, and he was very, I mean, in our like interactions, very nice to me. But looking back, there were definitely obviously a lot of like really inappropriate bits that he would use about me and my body, and
really.
Yeah.
That was his whole shtick, I guess, looking back.
Yeah, and I know that like, for whatever reason it was for shock or whatever. I don't know if that excuses it, but I haven't really talked to him since all that stuff went down. I mean, that was one of those things that like looking back, I had such a different lens than when I was like 14.
Can I pull this up? Does this bother you? You got the Shanae treatment?
I got the Shanae treatment.
This is like the blackface character, isn't it?
It's not the best. Yeah.
He's not in
pretty
blackface
bad.
now, but
yeah.
Can I watch this?
If you want.
You don't want to watch it?
I mean, there's just nothing like really, I think, positive about like, there's like some really bad jokes in there that I'm like uncomfortably laughing about because I don't know what to do.
Yeah, you can't take anything for this one.
No, but I mean, as like the internet does, like there were definitely some people who were like, "Why were you involved with this?" I'm like, I didn't know the script.
Everybody loved it. Yeah,
Oh my God.
also, everybody loved Shane until like all of a sudden everybody didn't.
It's been, it's you just hope that people, I mean, are taking account. I really haven't talked to him, but I hope he's taking accountability.
It's not your fault.
Yeah. Oh wow. There's the thing. Thank you.
Yeah, it's not your fault.
Thank you. Anyway, I can't believe these are still like up.
Well, these are all re-uploaded, it looks like.
Yeah.
My date was
I
with Black to
see.
Black.
Yeah.
Y'all did a lot of content, actually.
I mean, he used me for a lot of content.
Dude, yeah, I'm not putting any blame on you. You're still a kid. Did it get a lot of views, his content with you?
Yeah.
Interesting.
I think it was like, this was like a, heyday moment for him probably.
Were people being nice at least at that time where you were more in on the joke?
I don't know.
No.
I don't know. It was pretty brutal the first few years of just like, I mean, there were always people who had my back for sure. But yeah, pretty rough.
I see. Well,
Pretty rough.
Shane is, I wonder if you were thinking back on that though in retrospect, because he got busted like for being super gross and inappropriate with really young kids. I guess that made you think back and be like, oh, goddamn, that was kind of weird.
I mean, again, like in my interactions, I never felt unsafe. But I also, like, to give some context, was so at that point used to being the butt of every joke and like having so many. I mean, there have been people ever since I was 13 being like, can't wait till she turns 18.
Oh, that's so gross.
So I think my like relationship with it at the time was just like, oh, this is like another moment, like laugh it off, be cool.
Yeah.
Don't be, because also like the internet again hasn't always been so kind. So
what's it like to see that kind of comment as a young person? Like, I can't wait till she's 18. That's so vile.
Disgusting. I mean, I definitely had a hard time understanding like my relationship with sexuality and sensuality and obviously like realizing like my queerness and all that was a separate thing. But like for so long, I think I struggled with confidently portraying that in a way that felt like my own. But like on this album, there's some songs that are like super sexy and like really like coming from my own just like ideas and experience. And I'm really excited to share that. because that has been a part of my life. Like I'm 25, you know, I've been like out here living my life, dating people, and I just haven't even really realized until this recent era that like I haven't ever shared that so much, because I've been that's felt like something I was almost afraid to for so long.
When did you come out, I guess?
I think it's been almost 3 years.
3 years?
Yeah.
And did you know that you were gay for a long time, or was it kind of a confusing thing that you learned about yourself?
It was kind of something I learned when I was around 20. And I all of a sudden was like, what is happening? Like, why am I so enamored with this person? And I started having relationships and all that. And it all kind of like fell in front of me. But then looking back, it becomes a lot easier to be like, oh, okay. That like wasn't someone that you just like wanted to be your friend really badly when you were 11, you know? But I mean, like, I kind of have felt very comfortable like living my life in terms, I don't know. I just find someone, I fall really in love with them. And
was it hard for you coming out of the closet, or was it kind of an easy thing to do with your family and everything you've been through?
Overall, it was pretty positive.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm from Orange County, which is like not the most liberal place in the world.
It's considered like MAGA County.
It's
here in California.
It's pretty rough.
Yeah.
And I mean, I've grown up in LA. Like I've identified myself very far away from that for a very long time. But there were like not always super positive experiences. But now I'm at a place where like, yeah, I mean, I love having my like girlfriend around my family. I love, you know, I'm super lucky to like, when I came out online was at a time where like it's so much more accepting and welcoming because of, you know, the experiences that people have had and the things that people have fought for in the past. So it's been great. And like, it's something a lot of me and my audience really share. Like a lot of like the LGBTQ plus community really backed me long before anyone else did. So that's been really cool.
And how long have you been dating your partner?
Almost a year.
Oh,
Almost
that's
a year,
nice.
yeah.
That's so great.
Yeah.
Are you
She's sick.
She's sick? Like,
Sick.
Oh.
she's cool.
She's cool.
Okay, I wasn't sure. I was just like, oh, she's sick?
I hope she's
Sick.
not sick. Yeah.
What's wrong with her?
No, she's just really cool. Wow, this photo of me.
That photo's so nice. Don't you
Thank
agree?
you. Sure, yeah.
You don't like it?
It's fine. It's fine.
Nice.
Rebecca Black.
Wants to
peg Pete Davidson? What the fuck? Is that true? You want to? Wait, what?
So this tweet was going around, and then I saw it and I thought it was funny. And so I was actually with my girlfriend, and I was like, oh, I should tweet about this. And I was like, what should I say? And she was like, well, you should say like, well, if Pete lets me wear a strap on.
Oh shit, that's awesome.
And then that people really resonated with that.
You keep having like big Twitter moments.
I
dude.
do love Twitter.
Awesome.
There
Yeah,
she
you
is.
guys need to go follow Rebecca Black's dropping banger after banger on
So true.
Twitter.
It's so true.
By the way, album cover's awesome.
Thank
Let It
you.
Burn.
Thank
February
you.
9th, we mentioned that?
Yep.
February 9th.
Oh, you could play this, I'm sure.
It sounds great. It's kind of retro in a way. Do you
Yeah,
feel that?
there's a lot of 80s influence in that song.
Yeah.
Which I love so much. Yeah, this is one of my favorites on the album. Excited People.
This is
Excited
the
People to
one
hear it.
that, what's this one called?
Sick to My Stomach.
Yeah, Sick to My Stomach. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. Well, thanks for having me on.
Yeah.
I mean, what a full circle.
For me,
Well,
really. For me.
For me too.
Yeah.
Listen, I'd be spending a lot of time on YouTube. So.
Yeah. That's awesome. Well,
Thank you for coming on the show.
Of course. Thanks for
this
having me.
tour, have a great time.
Yeah.
RebeccaBlack.co. Everybody set your calendar. It's February 9th. Now you're a friend of the show, so everybody's got a ride for you.
Well, any of my Dubliners, I'm going to be there this Saturday.
This Saturday.
Wow.
Get in there, y'all.
Yeah. Come to the show. It's a fun show. Fun show.
Well, I have exciting news, if I may. Tickets for the Roxy are on sale.
Really?
Yeah, May 13th.
Really nice.
Nice.
What's
Let's
it?
go, baby.
Pretty excited about that. If you want tickets, it's on my socials in the bio.
Let's go. I think it's very brave of you to come up here, and I saw you alone. I was like,
I appreciate you.
Let me go sit with my buddy. I've
Oh,
What the hell?
beautiful stuff we do here.
love. I wish you were in this third seat.
Oh yeah,
here with
love.
us.
I want to debrief a little bit. So, it seems like there's something going on between Patrice. She didn't tell me anything, but she couldn't talk about anything with Patrice, so I'm assuming there's some legal stuff going on there. But one thing I did learn that was super interesting is they put it up without her knowing.
Yeah, it's pretty fucked.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what's crazy now? They want to own the fucking song, it sounds like. Or I'm inferring. She didn't tell me anything. She was very tight-lipped. But it's like they got paid to make it. They put it up without a permission, and then now they want to own it. It's fucking crazy. Wow, what a cool girl and a cool, interesting story.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's amazing that she's able to survive and
I agree.
make a career out of it.
It's really cool to be able to talk to her after all these years. It's almost like watching like a really great documentary, but you're experiencing it in real life.
I'm so curious about all the Patrice stuff, but
I know.
she couldn't do it. She couldn't do it.
If you are able to look at women who are not selling themselves or benefiting off of
Why?
What is
being
going on
seen
with you?
sexually,
You're a monster, dude.
You guys are crazy.
Why did you do that?
Zach, what the fuck, bro? You're evil. So fucking evil.
Dude, what the fuck, bro?
What is going on here?
I'm just speechless, dude.
Get it out of your system, because I know this is...
Yikes.
That was insane. Okay, fine.
Are you gonna... Should I come cry next to you?
Yeah, will you come cry next to me?
I knew we shouldn't have been laughing too hard at this couple.
I couldn't help it at the time. Oh,
no,
you
not
did,
her,
yeah,
the
first
couple,
ones.
because it's
Yeah.
like 5 minutes later it's gonna be us.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's
I
the
knew
thing.
it.
Here's the thing. I may have mentioned in Discord for Zach to play the Chestnut song.
There it is.
Thank you.
And everybody saw it. I got to put out an apology immediately. Guys, hit me with the sad music, please, Zach.
All right, we gotta wrap this shit up. This is going way off the rails. Jesus.
Dude, so you know what? I just feel bad if she sees that and then she thinks
Right.
we're-
Yes, of
that-
course.
that's
Of
not-
course.
That's just it wasn't like that. It's just not like that. The chestnut's gone.
Okay.
He busted a chestnut.
In this video, we're curing 1,000 people's blindness.
Look at all these blind fuck. He's like, I brought it together 1,000 blind fucking broke people. Are this post blind or a pre or post blind?
It's gonna be crazy.
Most of us see the world like this. But here's the thing, 200 million people see the world like this.
Oh, that's not good.
But I just made it one less.
oh, wow.
That's so.
She's just one of 1,000 blind people we helped from around the world.
They can't see
but we have all the
That
technology.
is that's great, and he's in.
Half of all the blindness in the world is people who need a 10-minute surgery.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's so fucked up.
I see everybody. Oh, I can see clear. I can jump for joy.
Yes, I can see your face, I can see your face, I can see your face.
If you're wondering how the surgery allows people to see again, it's because the lens in their eye got so cloudy that they can't see through it. So the surgeon uses a tiny vacuum to suck up the clouded lens.
Whoa, it's sucking.
And replace it with an artificial one. The surgery is that simple. They can see again.
You think there was 1,001 who's just like sitting there still blind? Like, damn, Jimmy.
You pay for my surgery?
Yes.
Is that us or him? That
was him.
You know what?
Why,
Here's
why was that
$10,000.
music there?
We're gonna go fix more people's eyesight. She's squeezing hard. And we're just getting started. We still have 980 lives left to change.
There's my watch. I've never seen it before.
Oh my God.
Well, I had night blindness. I couldn't.
Yeah, it's actually insane.
Yep. The life.
I'm Nolan, by the way.
I'm Carl.
You're Carl? I know a guy named Carl. Not a good guy. Moment of.
Wow, you are pretty, ain't you?
What's it like? What do you see?
Blur.
How long have you not been able to work for?
4 months.
Did you hear about the cross-eyed teacher? She couldn't control her pupils.
I'm gonna need anesthetics.
Not now, doctor. She's like, God damn it, not now.
Some doctors are like that. They gotta make a joke all the time.
Jimmy Lee.
Right.
He's a fucking doctor.
All different flavors. Cloudiness, no blurriness.
Oh, it's perfect.
Now, what's it like?
I can see everything.
I don't need these.
This is just like not okay.
Our next patient is Charlie. You're not able to read any of this text on the TV?
No, it's an E or something, I think.
He won't know he wants to until after
That's
his
cool.
surgery. I can't wait to see his reaction. Charlie sees everything like this, and it's made him and his family's life extremely difficult.
I was a cashier. My eyes was getting so bad I couldn't see how much the money to
Wait,
give
hold
back.
on. I have an alternative thumbnail idea for Mr. Beast. I can't quite explain it, but I think it's strong. Your thoughts, Hila?
Goes that way.
Because Jeremiah was born with cataracts, his right eye never received light. And that means that this surgery only has a 50% chance of working. I think we go ahead and get it underway and then we'll just talk post-op. And while Jeremiah's surgery was underway, I met another young man named Satchel. Did they tell you I was gonna be here?
No.
Good. He had poor vision from birth and almost lost his entire vision after a go-karting accident.
All I see is like blur in color. I can barely see like the shapes.
Obviously you can't drive, right?
No, I cannot.
And this is
Did
the
you not
real
hear?
reason
He
why-
got in a go-kart accident. He couldn't drive even if he could see.
life.
And you know, I want to drive since I can't drive. I'm just at home.
Good luck. We'll see you after the procedure. He mentioned multiple times he really wants to drive after this procedure fixes his eyesight. So I'll see you at the end of the video when we surprise him with a brand new Tesla. How'd it go?
Good.
Yeah? Are you excited?
Cheers to North through
Everything looks so more clear.
I have a surprise for you. Do you mind putting on this blindfold?
Hold on.
I know it's a little ironic that we just did the surgery. Satchel, take off your
That is pretty
blindfold.
funny. They hit him. They take his ass out of the car when he's blindfolded.
If Chris wrecks it, I'll buy another one.
Wait, so are they all getting Teslas?
He needs to get his license. We actually have footage of him when he first did his driver's ed.
I already know what's going
Go
on.
ahead, roll that. With footage inside the car during his driver's ed. Driver education. Go ahead, roll it, please. Go ahead, please. Roll the footage.
It's a miracle.
Dreams do come true.
Yeah, driving's not that much fun, is it, kid?
Damn it.
Chat said nice visual representation of the show.
Yeah.
We always land on our feet, though.
Oh.
All right, guys, roast those chestnuts at home. We're gonna sign out. Today is Monday, so we'll be back on Wednesday with the Steamies. Woo! And we'll be adding our chestnuts moment to the most cringe category. You can vote on that.
Well, that'll be on.
That'll be
next year's.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's what you're doing.
Chestnuts slurping over open fire. Chestnuts sleeping in the mire.
No clips from this episode, by the way, clippers.
No, I'm kidding. No, you can do it.
I'm kidding.
All right, guys. And I'm so sorry to Cutie. You know what? I don't know what's wrong with me. I have a problem where this has happened to me a few times in my life. And I have a problem, you guys.
I don't know why.
Tourette's, so don't be ableist.
I don't know why you're dismissing that option. It could be, no?
That's it. It's Tourette's. And I support her all the way, okay? I have Tourette's. Thank you. Bye. And when you take it too far, it gets funny again, Zach.
Okay.
Listen, leave the comedy to me, okay?
Okay, man.
Do you want to see a prolapse? There you go, AB. Nicely done.